We are going to call the meeting to order since it is 5:30. So our first item on the agenda is the Pledge of Allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay, next up on our agenda are introductions. So, Mr. Ott,
Griffin Ott.
Jessica Bigley,
Logan Hendricks.
Greg Eating.
Rachel Wade.
Jason Beckrow.
Bill Scaletta.
Scott Allen.
Thank you. Next item on our agenda is to approve the agenda for this evening's meeting. You've all had a chance to look. I would accept a motion to approve.
So moved.
Support.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? All right, next up is the approval of consent action items, which includes the following items: minutes from the August 19th special meeting, financial statements and bills that have been reviewed by the Finance and Facilities Committee, working guidelines for support staff and administrator director positions, and programs of study for the high school, middle school, elementary, and student handbooks for the high school, middle school, and elementary. Any questions on this? And if not, I would accept a motion to approve.
Can we go over the changes that were made to the working guidelines for support staff? There's, I guess, some summary there.
Yeah, just the summary at the end of that included salary increases for all working guideline areas, replace the Paid Medical Leave Act wording with the newer Earned Sick Time Act wording, allowed a third sick day to be used for personal business from the sick day pool to align with the teaching staff that had changes to them, allowed up to 6 inclement weather days to be paid without using sick days. Previously, there were 2 days, so that aligns it again with teachers as well, and added longevity stipends to the food service parapros and bus drivers to align with all of the other groups. So really just trying to level the playing field for everybody. One of the main things in that I kept hearing about were the inclement weather days whenever we had snow days. The first 2 snow days were covered. We would pay staff out, hourly staff out on those 2, and then the rest of them they had to take basically a sick day in order to get paid. So this kind of says that you don't have to take a sick day for those inclement weather days, and I think that's kind of a nice move in the right direction.
Right. Does that get us aligned on everything then, across the board with leave days and everything?
All of the items that, that was the plan. Yes, I'm pretty sure that aligns with everybody. Everybody's aligned now as far as those areas are concerned.
But when it pertains to overall leave, is everybody on the same guidelines with it? Because when I went through the working guidelines for all the positions, it looks like there's one group that's at 12 total days of leave, and then there's another group of categories that are at 10.
No, I don't know.
That's because some of them are school year employees versus year-round. So like central office, the administrative assistants work the entire year. So that's one of the reasons why there's a small difference.
But the teacher's contract is for 12. They're in that group of 12. That's not a year-round. So why is it not just 12 across the board for everybody then?
The teacher's contracts, they do get paid out for 26 weeks, or 26 paid, 52 weeks. It was just, theirs was negotiated, that was a long time.
So I guess we're not quite there yet.
Well, I just know that's the feedback I get from a lot of the staff has been around the general leave days. I think we've made a lot of progress with the snow day issue, with the personal days regarding some of that. But I do know that that's been brought to my attention, and there will be probably feedback on that from general staff on
Okay.
that discrepancy.
Thanks, Scott.
So do we want to move forward with approving the consent action items?
We can. I think if we're going to approve it, my only suggestion is we approve it at this point, and that's my recommendation, I guess, is approve it at this point, and then if we need to make adjustments, we'll make the adjustments and approve it again at another point, if that's the case.
Okay, so approve the changes that have been made thus far.
I just don't want people to miss out on any of this stuff between now and then.
Sure,
that's all.
so approve the changes that have been made thus far with the understanding that the working guidelines are going to be reviewed again for personal day alignment. Does that make sense? Okay.
So moved.
Support.
So this is a roll call vote. Mr. Allen?
I abstain.
Mr. Scaletta?
Aye.
Dr. Beckrow?
Aye.
Mrs. Bigley?
Aye.
Mr. Ott?
Aye.
And I vote aye. Good news about our schools.
Joining us tonight are the new members of our certified staff who will introduce and say a few words about themselves. That's all I'm supposed to say.
I'm the lucky one that goes first. Hi, my name is Dustin Slavinsky. I am teaching 9th and 10th grade English in the film studies class. I'm excited about being here. The kids they're awesome, and so it's an enjoyable moment to be here. Thank you.
Welcome.
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 Hi, I'm Meadow Carr. I teach art at Stewart. This is my third year teaching, and I'm really excited to be here.
Welcome.
Hi, I'm Peyton Preeb. I am one of the special ed teachers at Stewart. I'm teaching in the resource room, and it's been a great start to the school year, and I'm super excited to be here.
Welcome.
Welcome.
So fun. So my name is Amanda Hewlin, and I am the new social skills teacher over at Roosevelt in special ed, and I really enjoy what I do. Neuroscience is so fascinating to me and the way people communicate through language, and so I'm excited to work with all the kiddos. I love it. Thanks.
Welcome.
Hi, I'm Brianna Anthony. I am the special ed teacher over at Roosevelt and Lakeshore Middle School. I have a dual bachelor's degree in elementary and special education from Grand Canyon University, and I love working with students, and being able to support them in achieving their goals is just something that I really enjoy, and I'm excited to work here at Lakeshore. Thank you.
Welcome.
Hi, my name is Grace Waldecker. I'm new to Michigan. I moved here at the end of February, and I'm loving working. I'm so happy to be at Lakeshore. I'm the new second grade teacher at Roosevelt Elementary, and there's so many great people and kids, and my coworkers are amazing. So thank you. I'm happy to be here.
Welcome.
Hi, I'm Julian Zuccamelli. I was hired on to teach 7th grade social studies at Lakeshore Middle. It's been an amazing start to the year. It's been an amazing community, and having subbed in like 100 different schools, it really means something when I say like this is a unique place. I'm very happy to be here.
Very good.
Welcome.
And Connor Roberts is out with the football team, so he is
Okay.
be here, but these are our new teachers, and let's take a moment and let's get a picture.
Yeah. Oh, a picture. We thought she was asking us for a round of applause.
We're going to go right in front of you.
Be in this too?
We get to. Some of us are more photogenic than others.
I know, right? I lose my voice when I get stressed.
Here we go, we'll take a couple, lovely, thank you very much. Thank you. All right, and thanks for coming, teachers, and feel free to leave. Yep, feel free to leave, get home, so you're ready for start.
Did she say Waldecker? Is there any, the girl that came from another state? No, that's a familiar name.
All right. Moving on with the agenda, the superintendent's informational reports.
Yeah, we're off and running in the 2005-26 school year, and it has been a great start. We had 3 full days of professional development with our staff, with the highlight being the keynote speaker, Luis Cruz. Dr. Cruz reminded us that kids are never the problem. Too often it's the systems and practices around them that hold kids back. He challenged us to think differently, to question the way it's always been done, and to focus on creating schools that meet the needs of our students instead of asking students to fit into broken systems. His words were motivating and empowering and reminding us that we have the power to make real change. It was a great, great day. The board conducted a special meeting on August 19th to adopt the master agreement that was ratified by the Lakeshore Education Association. This contract was a product of over 50 hours of work between the LEA and the board's negotiating team of administrators. The union voted in favor of the contract with a 93% approval rate. The contract is a one-year agreement, and the negotiating teams will begin working soon for the next contract. In the world of staffing, I'm excited that Lynn Stover has accepted our literacy coach position. This is between Hollywood and Roosevelt Elementary. This is a critical position that impacts the reading intervention programs at both of those buildings. I am also excited that recently retired teacher Jeff Chorney has accepted the part-time CTE electrical teacher position. Jeff retired in June, and due to the statewide teacher shortage, we are able to rehire him back into this position. Jeff was the only candidate that we had that was qualified for this position. I was invited to attend the Whirlpool charity golf outing where the Lakeshore Excellence Foundation received a donation of $350,000. This is the largest donation that our foundation has ever received. It actually matches the largest donation our foundation has ever received. It was truly an honor to receive this and to understand the great impact this will have through the work of our foundation on the students and staff at Lakeshore. And finally, I would like to acknowledge our 2025-26 student representative to the board, Logan Hendricks. Logan was first introduced. Yes. Logan was first introduced in our June board meeting, and this is now his first official meeting in this position. Congratulations and welcome. Yes. I don't know if you want to say anything. You're welcome to.
It's awesome to be here, and yeah.
So Logan will be providing a report on a monthly basis starting in the October meeting. So.
Next up is a construction projects update.
Yeah, we have Dave Innes of OAK Construction is going to provide the board with an update on the construction projects from the summer, as well as the upcoming projects we have through the bond.
Sorry. Alrighty, sorry, I wanted to get set up there. Yeah, David Ennis, name's Kimball. Just wanted to give a quick kind of update of what we did this summer. A lot of projects going on. One thing I want to note is we had about 42 kind of individual projects that were done, so a lot of them are not going to be highlighted here, but wanted to kind of highlight the bigger ones as we move forward. So we'll get started with that. At the middle school here, we've got a few pictures. Did kitchen addition. For proper space for cooking, about 700 meals a day, which increased cooler space and a few other areas there in the middle school. We did do a roof replacement from the 1997 wing as well. Also, thanks, Nick. Also did a refresh of the teacher's lounge there. That's the picture on the left. And then also kind of wrapped up our parking lot work from last year with the middle school bus loop and fixing that and getting it a little thicker grade for bus traffic. High school installed the new voice evacuation fire alarm system throughout the building. Also did the new metal panel at the front entrance and around the building. A lot of new windows, a lot of new courtyard windows. You'll see that here in the middle photo. And also the new high efficiency boilers we did in the high school as well as the middle school. And then also refreshed teacher's lounge there too. You'll see a kind of a trend here on the areas that we were in this summer. Wow. Transportation building, a few upgrades here just to some mechanicals, new furnace and AC unit, replacing the eye wash and replacing the water heater, doing some infrastructure things to keep transportation up and moving and keeping them comfortable. Roosevelt Elementary did a refresh in that teacher's lounge as well. There's also the small group room and then working on new drinking fountains with the bottle fillers in regards to filter first. We also did a small section of roof repair on that Roosevelt Elementary as well. Stewart Elementary, behavior support specialist furniture, also addition of some lockers you'll see here on the left, and then also one of the photos of the drinking fountain bottle filler that's kind of went up around the district. Hollywood Elementary, same kind of concept here, teacher spaces, new septic pump and alarm system, and then also filter first drinking fountains, bottle fillers. And that was a quick synopsis of what we did this summer. I'm sure you saw us in a lot of places doing a lot of things. But then also wanted to kind of prep the board for some excitement for next year as we look into summer 2026 bond work. Again, high level list here, but at the high school, looking at replacing the main auditorium roof, doing some mechanical upgrades to the welding shop, and then looking at some renovations within the band room, electrical storage areas to increase some efficiencies. And then at the middle school, looking at replacing the kitchen RTU makeup air, again, mechanical component there. And then all the elementary locations looking at mechanical upgrades, air conditioning for media centers and tech rooms, as well as looking at replacing all the divider walls in the gym from an operable to a motorized wall to keep those working as long as possible. So that was all I had. I'd like to open it up for any questions or any comments with Greg.
The only thing I had here was I feel like I've seen people on the auditorium roof like a lot lately. So what part of this roof is being done, and what part has already been done, and what was done maybe this summer?
Yes.
There.
So Nick, maybe you can help me a touch. So we've got the higher roof, the lower roof, and then you've got kind of the main roof with that. The high and the low have already been completed as of this year. Let me know.
Backstage, high is the stage roof, and then the house roof is the medium side. Medium roof, but it's large area.
Yeah, so the medium roof, to Nick's point, would be the one we'd be going after next summer.
Thanks.
Good point, Greg. We've been in a few different spots there.
So, Dave, I just want to congratulate you guys. 42 projects. I know it was a lot going on, over this whole summer. Looks like most of the work went fantastically well from what I've seen and heard. And in the past, you guys have just done great work for us. The time that I've been on the board, you guys have done multiple projects. I do have a question I just want to get your input on, because we had two kind of issues, I think, over the summer. One was right at the very end, right when school came back in. We had a lot going on the first few days of staff being in the building, and we had an issue with the fire alarms.
Correct.
So I wanted to get your input on that a little bit, because that really affected the district overall and seemed like something that maybe we should have had a better plan on how
Certainly.
that all went down. And then the other thing that I'll throw at you is with the middle school cafeteria, we kind of have said it's done, but my understanding is there's a lot of work that needs to get reworked at a later date, and that project really pushed right up against school start and could have potentially hindered us quite a bit. So I just want to get your input,
Sure.
since we have to represent all of our constituents in the district and the money we're spending and keeping accountability. So I just want to get your take on that versus, kind of what we may have been told also.
Yeah, no problem. I'll hit your first point here first on the fire alarms here at the high school. We started that work back in April, trying to get things moving with that, and we've seen a lot of districts in the state, not just Lakeshore, really trying to go to this new, more modern system. But the scope of work that it entails, from removing all the existing fire alarm, taking ceilings apart, putting other things back together, is a lot of work to do in a short amount of time for the summer, as I'm sure you can all understand. Looking back, the information we had, could we have started a little sooner? Probably, but what I can tell you is for the 6 weeks prior to staff coming to the site, we had our electrical and fire alarm teams here 6 days a week, 12 hours a day. So as I did, we don't want it to be as uncomfortable as it may have been. But one thing I can say is that we did kind of put our foot forward there and learned some things on the way back. But really, at the end of the day, wanted to get in and keep that goal of not having students late or anything that. And I do want to apologize for, obviously, the professional development that had to be kind of taken to a different location. Some of that was not to make any other excuses, but trying to line up state inspectors and other things. So again, just a large volume of work that we've taken some things that we've learned from. But again, I think everybody involved put their best foot forward and did what we needed to do, aside for some couple hiccups there at the finish line.
I was here on Friday for the first fire alarm. It was peaceful, and we didn't have one solid blast. I mean, it was well done, so.
Yeah, so we do try to do that with the state, because obviously we want to test the horns, the voice system, the smokes. What we do with the state is walk through one time quickly for all the noise, and then we silence the panel and then go back through and test the smokes and visuals and all that. So you're not, you don't have 8 hours of an alarm going through the building. So, and then for the kitchen addition at the middle school, yes, the work is, I'll put in quotes here, complete. And I think the one thing I want to say on OAK's behalf is, from our side and as a construction manager, we don't walk away. We want positive quality. The work I think that you're talking about is the flooring in the kitchen and the epoxy in the new cooler freezers. When that went down, we had flagged that already. We have the contractor. We are going to be back here on Christmas and redoing all that work. And I can tell you, as far as the kitchen tile itself, we're on our third version of that and have already asked the trade to rip that out once prior. But again, knowing the importance of getting food and kids back in, we wanted to put that back together. But by no means are we stepping away or saying that we are done.
Okay. Yeah, I just wanted to get your input because obviously that's what your big part of this is, the oversight on a daily basis, making sure that the trades and everybody is accomplishing tasks to the standard. So
Absolutely.
If we're not, then I just want to make sure we give you a chance to speak to that. Because obviously, even though they'll repair it, it's still time and things to the district. And like the PD day, that was kind of a big deal. I hope that you guys did learn from that, and maybe we as a district needed to learn some things from that process as well. I guess the question I have, are you getting everything you need from us to accomplish these things?
Yes.
The way that they need to be?
Yes, I think
Okay.
the district, we have good communication, and to your point, yeah, I think we've learned a couple of things that we'll do better in the future. But yes, overall, the grand scheme of it, we want it to be done and done right the first time, but things do happen, and with the push, you tend to draw that line in the sand where we can get things done and get kids back. But again, we'll be back here over Christmas break addressing those items in the middle school.
Okay.
Any other questions, comments? I appreciate your willingness to maybe accept some responsibility that probably isn't entirely yours. I know there were some challenges with some subcontractors and things like that where you guys pushed and plan A to plan B to plan C to plan D in order to get us back in for the beginning of the school year. So yes, thank you for everything that was done.
No, you're welcome, and thank you for being understanding, and we want to be a good partner to everybody, and obviously Lakeshore, so,
Absolutely.
Thanks, Dave.
Look
thank you.
2026.
Us too.
Thank you.
Okay, next up, our Board of Education reports. First is Finance and Facilities, so I will share that. On Tuesday, September 3rd, the Facilities and Finance Committee met, consisting of Rachel Wade, Greg Eating, and Tracy Althouse. Items discussed but not limited included the following. Tracy presented the monthly financials that included a cash flow statement, which gave an estimate of when cash would be limited if a state aid budget is not passed. An audit update was given as the field work for the audit is done and the auditors are beginning the final stages of preparation. Greg gave a bond update and noted that OAK will be at the board meeting, and then we did discuss the construction challenges that had been experienced that Mr. Allen referenced earlier. The next report is the Culture and Leadership Committee. Mr. Scaletta, would you share that, please?
Sure will. The Culture and Leadership Committee met on Friday, September 5th. Present at the meeting were Susan Toothman, Greg Eating, and myself. The committee discussed the following. The all-staff welcome back. 42 staff members were recognized for their longevity to the district, and the staff heard from Superintendent Eating and Board President Rachel Wade. Working guidelines. The working guidelines were updated across all groups. Notable changes are adding one more personal day, changing how snow days are handled, and ensuring we have longevity for each group. The upcoming wellness challenge. We will have a wellness challenge for all employees over the 3 weeks at the end of October and the beginning of November, which reminds me of Dump Your Plump, okay? So,
Oh, I remember
all right,
Dump Your
remember
Plump.
that, Dump Your Plump?
Yep.
All right. The mentor program, we have 27 teachers now that are being mentored as new teachers across the district. It's been a great program, and it's starting its third year.
Thank you. And adding a monkey wrench in here, something I completely forgot to do at the beginning of the meeting. Mr. Allen, would you be willing to serve as secretary for this evening's meeting since Mrs. Von Koenig is not here?
Yes, I will.
Thank you. I just realized I forgot to do that. Okay, next on the agenda is our MASB Delegate Assembly. So each year, if there are board members attending, the board should certify the official voting delegates and alternates who will represent us at the Michigan Association of School Boards Delegate Assembly, which this year is on Thursday, October 23rd at 7 p.m. in Acme. The Delegate Assembly provides direction to the association, its officers, and committees through the adoption of resolutions. All resolutions adopted become the official position of MASB as interpreted and pursued by the Board of Directors. Based on our student enrollment, we are allowed up to 3 voting delegates and 3 alternates, and the deadline to submit the members' names is October 2nd. Do we have anyone who would like to attend and serve in this role?
Acme is up north.
Yeah, just where Grand Traverse Resort is. Mhm. I cannot. I have a meeting that night, and the next day is senior night for the football game. Okay, well, it says, if no board members plan on attending, no motion is needed, and Sue Hardy will notify MASB. So thank you very much.
We trust them.
Board of Education reports. Oh, yes, board member professional development. At this time, the board members have an opportunity to share insights or key takeaways from any recent professional development activities or training sessions they have attended. Mr. Eating already referenced in his report the presentation by Dr. Luis Cruz. I know Mr. Scaletta and Dr. Beckrow and I were in attendance at that, and Dr. Cruz was very impressed that there was not only 1, but 3 board members who were there.
Yep.
Do either of you have any learnings or key highlights you would like to share?
What a great way to start the school year. And the handout on why we should collaborate is just really interesting stuff. And I think everybody should see this somehow, especially what the shift from fundamental purpose is for learning communities, from focus on teaching to focus on learning. I think that's important. Infrequent summative assessments to frequent common assessments, which I think is important. And shift in working from teachers from isolation to collaboration. So I think he was just outstanding.
He really was.
I wish he'd have been here 10 years ago. Okay.
Dr. Beckrow, any thoughts?
Yeah, it was outstanding. I had the pleasure of seeing him a year ago when we went as a group to
Grand Rapids.
Christian.
Yep.
And it was fantastic then. We had a book, so that was part of our vacation reading. And not just an inspiring speaker, right? Because he speaks of his own story so much. But the concepts, like some of my big takeaways, the concept of not just presenting the material, but making sure our learners have consumed that material, and how can we work to pool our collective strengths to do that. I mean, it goes, it's not just germane to, another thing I loved, the concept of professional educators. Some of you may know I'm an adjunct professor at Michigan State, and I have a lot of content expertise, but I am an amateur educator. I can, pretty confident I can teach anyone one-on-one, maybe a handful of folks, but once you get into double digits, I know I'm landing with some of my learners, but I don't know if I'm landing with all. I know I'm probably not, but I don't know how to figure that out. And that's what our professional educators do at such a high level. Again, all means all, and it was fantastic.
Yeah, so I have about 2 pages that I wanted to share. No, not quite that much. Some things that I particularly took away, and Mr. Eating already kind of referenced this. We don't have a broken system. We have the wrong system. The educational system as a whole, that it's doing exactly what it was designed to do, and that's not what our students need anymore. The system we need has 2 things: high levels of learning for all students, and high levels of learning, meaning that they're at grade level or higher at the end of the year. And as Dr. Beckrow said, all means all. In this case, all means any child in our school that will one day be an independent adult. And one that I wrote down and put lots of stars and arrows around is that systems don't change unless adult behavior changes. We're the ones that have to make the change in order for the system to be what our students need. And he really challenged us to think, Bill, you were talking about shifts from this to that, looking at it not as us having an achievement gap, but having an opportunity gap. And then the last thing, he talked about the characteristics of effective schools. They have strong instructional leadership, clear and focused mission, safe and orderly environment, climate of high expectations, frequent monitoring of student progress, positive home-school relations, and the opportunity to learn and student time on task. And what struck me as I was reading through that list is how aligned that is with our strategic plan. I can take almost every single one of those and directly align that with a goal or a strategy or a tactic that we have within our current strategic plan. The one exception would be a clear and focused mission. And so when we developed our strategic plan, we identified the fact that we need a new mission statement. I'm going to be real honest, other than the grounded in tradition, committed to excellence, which I don't think is technically our mission statement, I couldn't tell you what our mission statement is, because I found, like, depending on where I look, I see like 3 different answers. So that is one thing that we are going to be bringing. Chelsea Martinez, who helped us develop our strategic plan, we will be bringing her back this year to help us redo our district's mission statement. And then we can check everything off on that list and say, we are doing the things that are necessary to be an effective district. So, anybody else have any activities that they participated in the last month?
I'm also on a subcommittee for the Berrien Cass
Yes.
School Boards Association, and it's the advocacy group. And so we're planning in the fall on bringing in the representatives that are running next year in 2026. And so that'll probably be February or March of next year, so.
Wonderful.
Doing that, so.
Thank you for that, Bill.
Yep.
Okay, next up is we have a personnel update.
Yeah, I've talked about these already a little bit in my superintendent report, but and you've met some of them tonight. So Peyton Preby is the special education resource teacher at Stewart Elementary. Last year, she served as a resource room teacher at Bridgman, and before that, she worked as a county-based cognitively impaired special education teacher in Waterville Elite. Peyton is currently completing her coursework and will graduate this spring with dual licensure in special education and elementary education. Amanda Hewlin is the special education emotionally impaired teacher at Roosevelt. She earned both her bachelor's and master's from Arizona State University and is currently pursuing an additional degree in special education. Lynn Stover has accepted the literacy coach position and is splitting her time between Roosevelt and Hollywood. She received her bachelor's degree from Western and her master's from Walden University. She previously taught in Three Oaks and Benton Harbor and will be starting on September 15th. So Lynn is not starting until the 15th of September. Emily Nicholson has been hired as the school social worker for the high school and middle school. She received both her bachelor's and master's degrees from Grand Valley and has previously worked in Grand Rapids. She will also begin on September 15th. They were both later hires. And I've talked about Jeff Chorney, who retired in June. He's back in the high school on a part-time basis, teaching 2 blocks of electrical classes through the CTE program.
Excellent. Board members, any questions? If not, I would accept a motion to approve.
So moved.
Support.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Any abstentions? Okay. 2025-26 Career and Technical Education Credit Approval.
Yeah, so each year the board is asked to approve the established Michigan Merit Curriculum credits that are covered through the state-approved CTE courses offered by the high school. The courses are mechanical drafting, HVAC and refrigeration, automotive technician, machine tool operation, machine shop, welding, brazing and soldering, therapeutic services, marketing and electrical and power transmission. We currently have a total of 351 students enrolled in at least one CTE class, which includes 109 of them coming from other schools in the county. I'll just add a little footnote to this. Even though we're not currently running a HVAC and refrigeration, there's a potential if we could find a teacher, we still could maybe throw a class together, at least maybe for the second semester.
Okay.
So it's potential for that. So just kind of want to keep that out there so we don't have to approve it separately at a later time.
Sure. Board members, any questions? If not, I would accept a motion to approve.
So moved.
Support.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Any abstentions? Excellent. Moving on to overnight trips.
High school teacher Jill McNabney is asking the board to approve the annual Freshman Math and Science Center trip to Sutton's Bay on September 10 and 11 to do a geometry tree study in Sleeping Bear Dunes and to do scientific research aboard the Island Seas school ship.
Board members, any questions?
It's a great trip. I've been on it, so. it's a good thing.
So moved.
Support.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Any abstentions? All right. And Sue, did we have any public comment this evening?
Nobody signed up.
All right. Then our last item of business is to adjourn the meeting. I would accept a motion.
So moved.
Support.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Wonderful. Have a good evening.